ドジャースの日本人コンビが投打で活躍し、チームを連勝に導きました。大谷翔平は1番指名打者で先発出場し、3回に先制の敵地二塁打を放つなど、5打数2安打2打点を記録しました。先発した山本由伸は、9回を4安打2失点、無四球6奪三振に抑え、公式戦初の完投勝利を達成。今季10勝目を挙げ、熱狂的なヤンキースファンを沈黙させました。試合後には、多くの関係者から山本の完投勝利を称賛する声が相次ぎました。これらの模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
We're going to head out to the Bronx, and Kirsten Watson is out there. Kirsten, how is the weather and how are you doing?
Hi, Jerry. I am wonderful. Obviously, it's a bit warmer today, but the good news is that there's no rain in the horizon. Yesterday was obviously a very wet one here in New York City. So with today's plan, as you mentioned, Game 1 is going to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto, but Game 2 is now to be determined. Coming into this series, the pitching plan was going to be Roki Sasaki, Emmett Sheehan, and then Yoshi was going to have the start for Game 3 of this series. But as you guys have seen, things have changed. Yoshi not only has Game 1, but with that Game 2 being determined after this game, Dave Roberts talked about just what led to the pitching change, what led now to the decision to have Emmett Sheehan pitch in Game 1 against the Phillies. Here's what he had to say.
Obviously, it's helpful to have Yoshi go Game 1. In theory, we get more length to protect us for Game 2. Don't know what we're going to do as far as the starter for Game 2. I think it's going to depend on obviously Game 1. Emmett, we're going to push him back to tomorrow. So I think that in theory, a bullpen game for Game 2 makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I mean, I think we're in a good spot.
Why did you decide to push back Emmett?
The elephant in the room is Shohei's not going to start on Wednesday. His knee, we just want to continue to give it the best chance to kind of get into a good spot. And as he said, as we feel, it's the pitching and the torque on landing on that leg that kind of gets it upset. And so I think that the hitting doesn't do that. So I think that for us, we're trying to give it as much time as possible. So I think being able to kick Emmett to Monday made the most sense.
Did he throw a bullpen session and that's when he realized the knee wasn't responding?
No, he didn't. He just was playing catch and then also just kind of the feeling of where he's at, how it feels day to day. So that was enough for him to talk to the trainers and feel like there was no need to test it with a bullpen where he already knew the answer, right? So I just think for us, it's more like we've done many times over, erring on the side of caution.
Are you just fully skipping this start or pushing him back a couple days? And you know yet?
Don't know yet. But kind of where we're at right now, how we're proceeding, I would say that, it's going to be some time. And I say that it's not going to be a day-to-day thing. I think that once we've moved Emmett, the rotation can keep going forward without Shohei for the time being. And I can't speak to how long that's going to be.
Will he DH both games today?
I will see how the first game goes. And so I'm going to leave that open-ended. Yep.
How much of a concern is this that coming off the injection, it's still an issue?
I think it's more of, honestly, I think that part of it, a lot of it is where we're at and how we've put ourselves in a good spot in the sense of, could he probably do it? Sure. But right now, the cost just doesn't seem to outweigh or the benefits don't seem to outweigh the cost this time of the season. So I think that we still have plenty of time to kind of get him to a good spot to then pitch.
Knowing that he's skipping potentially future starts too, how do you anticipate filling his spot in order to keep kind of a six-man rotation?
Well, we have days off coming up, so that's an easier short-term answer. And then obviously Blake did 2 innings yesterday, or almost 2 innings. So then, you like to think that number one, Shohei will be back at some point, and then number 2, you got Blake coming too.
Shohei Ohtani has made it clear that he's only really feeling that knee discomfort when he's pitching, so when he's on the mound. So the team has decided that after he played catch over this weekend, that ultimately something just didn't feel right for him. He, of course, had that shot, an injection that not only provided some lubrication to his left knee, but also relieved some pain. He had that now exactly 7 days ago. So it does seem like as much as he's in a good spot when it comes to when he's hitting, so in the batter's box, when he's on the mound, there's still some discomfort. So ultimately, like Dave Roberts said, there's no exact timeline for when he's going to return to pitching. He's going to continue with his flat ground work, but he has not gotten off the mound just yet. And so until he's able to do that, then they'll decide when they can slot him back into the rotation. But like Dave said, it's not going to be a day-to-day thing. This is something that could take a little bit more time than they had hoped, guys.
Yes, Kirsten, not the best of news, but stay cool there in the Bronx.
Thank you.
We just heard Doc talk about Shohei Ohtani will not be making his start there next Wednesday. Concerns, Gonzo?
100%. I mean, the team's in a really good spot. So as far as where the team is as a whole, record in baseball, you know, they still have Shohei at the plate, which is still great. But you do need him down the road. And this is the time to take a step back. I think they're doing the right thing and being cautious with his knee. Going down the mound, putting all the weight. He's not a light guy to begin with. That's a lot of weight, a lot of torque. And as a hitter, it's his back leg. So there's only a little bit of you know, pressure being put on that knee. So I am a little concerned. I'm glad it's not his shoulder, it's not his elbow, it's not those things. A knee thing can, you know, if hopefully by only hitting and not throwing and not doing any of that work for a while, the inflammation will go down. The pain that he's feeling will go away, and he'll be able to get back September into October, which is where we really need him the most. So for me, I think I am concerned, but I'm also in a place where it's like, okay, this is the right time for this. You know, never a good time for anybody to get hurt. But if somebody is going to be hurt in some way, he's still hitting. And the team is in a really good spot where they don't need him to go out there and start.
I think the silver lining is, and Dave Roberts said it there in that interview, he was saying if, let's say it was the playoffs, he would go out there and pitch, no problem. But like Gonzo just stated, we're in a good spot. We got a pretty good, comfortable lead there in the division. This is the time to make sure you get Shohei Ohtani completely right. It doesn't bother him swinging the bat, so you continue to let him hit. So I love that they're being cautious. And I think with Shohei Ohtani being so important, obviously, to our lineup and rotation, you got to make sure he's 100%. So, you know what? We got to talk about our ace, you know, Yamamoto. He gets the nod game one. Interesting. I love what they're doing here. And Dave Roberts understands, yes, you have a chance to win this series right away. So let's go out there and have Yamamoto start game one. And then if we do win that game, we already won the series, whether or not you're going to play Shohei Ohtani. I love that Yamamoto gets the nod here, game one of the doubleheader.
I think it's a great decision for the Dodgers. They win the series in a really good spot. They can go into the game later tonight as a bullpen game, like Doc talked about. The one question I have is a flip side, and this is on the Yankee side, is why are you starting Schlitter against Yamamoto? Because you want to put your team in a position where Schlitter could go out there and give up only 2 runs and still lose the game. Yeah. And so they're the team that needs the wins more than the Dodgers. So you're putting yourself in the place where I would have put him in the second game. So you almost tell yourself, this is a game that we really want to focus on winning. And if we happen to win the first one, we're in a really good spot to take the series, you know, to take the series. So that's the only, for me, which is not, you know, not our concern, but I'm glad. I think Yamamoto pitching in this first game is the right call, just for everything we've been talking about.
Yeah, and it's a good matchup. Both aces, and it's going to be a fun game. Let's talk about Yamamoto. Obviously, Yamamoto has had a lot of success throughout his career, especially there at Yankee Stadium. Great numbers there against the Yankees. What do you see from him attacking this Yankee lineup?
Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to stay away from the pull side to both sides of the plate there. So just really attacking. I think the reason why he's had a lot of success is because he has an incredible ability to spot the fastball. And when you have great fastball command, you can pitch in small ballparks because you can keep the ball away from the hitters where they can't get the pull. If you're going to pitch in, it's with a purpose, it's with authority, and you're doing it to set up your pitches down the way or away. And you're forcing them to go opposite field if they are going to make